customized recruitment is something that remote companies focus very, very hard on. If you are recruiting in the same way you did pre-COVID, you need to really think again, because pre-COVID, we relied on our individual, and in some cases, if we'd been working together long enough, our collective gut instinct to make a call on a candidate. Didn't always work, but it was sort of kind of good enough. The problem with gut instinct, though, is that it's a feeling, and feelings are too inconsistent. It's possible to develop a communal gut instinct, but gut instinct really is individual. It is my individual gut instinct, different to your individual gut instinct. And actually it's reliant on a mood. It's reliant on how I feel that day. It's very personal. If you're hiring based on gut instinct, it means that you are evaluating the feeling of whether you would work well with this person or not. And you're inevitably going to end up hiring people like you. And therefore, hiring on gut instinct inevitably ends up with most companies not being as diverse as they could be or they'd like to be. So the answer is not to hire for values fit. Sorry, the answer is not to hire for culture fit, but to hire for values fit. So remote companies build a multi-stage discipline process for to make up for the lost in-person elements of the meeting. They use questionnaires, surveys, and video to eliminate the wrong candidates early. So Hotjar, for example, will ask you as a candidate to answer 5 questions, video yourself answering 5 questions. And you get a sense very quickly from the video whether the candidate has done the work and whether the candidate has what they take. And essentially it's the ability to eliminate the wrong type of candidate early on. You need to involve more of your team to work with the candidate. So this is at shortlist stage where you've got a shorter list of candidates, but essentially what remote companies do is they design tasks that involve multiple interactions and multiple communication channels. So for example, if you were hiring a head of product, you would have, this person would have a task, would be to do, fix the product process possibly. And you can speak to engineering, marketing, sales, and somebody in the product team as that candidate. So now you're interacting and working with the candidate. One person in each team is doing that. And the companies, Hotjar, for example, says, okay, with engineering, you can only talk, you can only do verbal communication. With sales, you can only do written communication, and with marketing, you have to do video communication. And so they're now evaluating candidates based on verbal and written communication and their ability to do the work and whether they work the way we do in this organization. So a lot of companies miss out on building values-based interview questions. And this is one of the things that all the companies I've found do in terms of remote. They are able to articulate their values and articulate what their values mean to the company very, very effectively. They ask the candidates for feedback, both on the process and on how the candidate themselves thought it went. And what they do is before they get together as an interview team, they get each person from the interview team to score and give feedback on the candidate, because you don't need to waste time if the candidate's a no. So essentially what we're doing now is, as a remote type of recruitment process, we're evaluating teams based on individuals, based on their skills and experience, their ability to do the job, the quality of the work they do, their behavior during the process, their verbal and written communication. So we're moving from skills, experience, and gut instinct to skills, experience, ability to do the job. It's just a much more deep, much more impressive interview process that these companies use. Values fit is a key element, and I think this is something that a lot of companies miss out on. It's impossible to hire for culture fit because your culture is changing so quickly, and nobody in the company can define the culture. So being able to recruit effectively for values fit is critical. doing this properly helps remote companies to build diverse teams. And I found that most of the remote companies I've spoken to are very, very diverse teams.